if he does not try to get out of the debates, and Donald Trump and I both come from New York. In Brooklyn, we call him a punk in the streets. I don't think he wants to debate Kamala Harris because I think
he'll be afraid to debate.
Oh, he's a political
Kamala
punk.
Harris?
There's no doubt about it.
Really?
And I think that if his friend was promoting the bout Don King, it would be the prosecutor versus the felon. That's how you would promote it.
As we talked about earlier, Harris is clearly leaning into the prosecutor versus felon dynamic. And I know a lot of you want to see Harris and Trump debate. And at least as of now, it looks like that might happen. Trump said he would debate Harris regardless of whether it was on ABC, and said he would be willing to do more than one debate, actually. I think if you're the Democrat nominee or the Republican nominee, you really have an obligation to debate, Trump said. Trump said he believed Harris would be easier to defeat than Biden because he was slightly more mainstream, but not much.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
Harris's campaign has yet to respond to the offer, but it's hard to imagine that they're not hoping for as many debates as possible. And we should note the second Trump and Biden debate was scheduled for September 10th, though it's unknown if that date will change for the new matchup. And before I toss it over to you, Sharon, I want to give us all a reminder of what it's like to go toe-to-toe against Harris. Here is her grilling Brett Kavanaugh. Take a look.
Can you think of any laws that give government the power to make decisions about the male body?
I'm happy to answer a more specific question, but
Male versus female.
there are medical procedures.
Okay. That the government has the power to make a decision about a man's body.
I thought you were asking about medical procedures that are unique to men.
I'll repeat the question. Can you think of any laws that give the government the power to make decisions about the male body?
I'm not thinking of any right now, Senator.
I wonder if he's thought of any since. Sharon, I want to bring you in here. What are you expecting to see in a Harris and Trump debate?
She can be so scary in a delicious way. She's like, in that clip that you played with Kavanaugh, she was like the cat with the mouse, and like, she'd release it, release it. And I just think it's lovely. I think it's beautiful. She did the same to Bill Barr. I mean, these are the best and the bright, only the best people. And he didn't understand the question, or he was buying time. My daughter does that, but she's only 12. I can't wait for this kind of debate because there's nothing serious about Donald Trump. All he is a bag of insults. But the problem is she's unflappable. She's unflappable. She's been called it all before, and she doesn't have to react to it. I'd love it if she'd walk out and have a little fun and put a maxi pad on her right ear, okay, and mock him that way and then get into it. But she's far too serious for that. And I think she'll let him do what he has to do, and then she'll keep making the case. And I think it's going to be very frustrating for him.
Yeah, it absolutely will. And we talked about this last night on the show, Cenk and I. The one thing that got lost in the coverage of the first Biden and Trump debate was Trump had a terrible debate. Trump didn't answer questions. He was off message. He rambled. He kept pointing to immigration. You're going to put Harris in there, who's competent, who is an attorney, who can argue, can litigate. She's going to go in there and push back on him when Biden wasn't physically capable of doing that. So even just that is going to make Trump look bad. He does not have the same juice that he had in 2016. I think he was a dynamic debater, and he had a lot of experience going through the gauntlet of the Republican primary debates in 2015 and 2016. And then once he became the nominee, he was really, I wouldn't say sharp, because he still did ramble a lot, but he knew how to prepare, what to say, and he was prepped. That's not the case. You're going in against somebody who hasn't really gone against a skilled debater in almost a decade. I think it's going to be a very embarrassing situation for Trump. We'll see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before, but that's just based on what I'm seeing from both of them and based on the current state of the Republican Party and Trump's most recent performance. I think that's what we can expect. What do you think? Am I
exactly right.
Am I wrong here?
Nope. Yeah. You are exactly right, and I love the context and the timeline that you've given. Over the past decade, because you know what, Donald Trump is not even the showman who went out there and did that WWE skit. He doesn't have it. We saw that at the Republican convention. That what was it? An hour and a half, an hour and 33 minutes, and it was He couldn't even deliver the lines that the campaign gave him carefully with any kind of passion. It was just wow. People fell asleep, including in the audience.
Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.